So let's talk about the innermost ring of the Spirit City. So, for a little recap, the Spirit City is going to have 3 rings like Atlantis, which is so cool because, like, I didn't specifically do that. That's just how I saw it. And then later on, I realized, like, the connection, which is so amazing. The outer ring is going to be the markets and more of like a public area that, like, people can come to from wherever. The second ring is where we're going to have our food growing, and that's where our community is going to actually live, in all different types of cool, like, sustainable housing. It's going to be really awesome. There's going to be families. There's going to be all different kinds of, like, people there. Maybe even some larger structures where people can have, like, just a room to themselves if that's all they really want, because there's resources other places. There's, like, all different kinds of, like, things that will be available. The innermost ring, and the part that is the most exciting to me. They're all exciting. Let's be real. But the inner ring is the part that I really, really, like, am excited about, in the sense of, like, what I'm passionate about. And the innermost ring is where the temple is going to be. It's where the healing center is going to be. It's where the spirit school is going to be, which the spirit school is, like, very near and close to my heart. That's where also the library is going to be, and the event center. So, like, basically the hub of the city is going to be in that center area, so everyone can kind of, like, congregate there. And more that car. I want to specifically talk today about the spirit school. Now, these will all have names and stuff too, of course. These are just, like, the over, like, this is what they are, right? Even the city itself, each city will have a different name, but they're all spirit cities. I want to specifically talk about the spirit school because it's really going to be a big draw for the city, I believe. Everything will be. But the spirit school is going to be amazing because there is going to be just so many different types of spiritual classes there. Personal development classes, and there's going to be things from learning how to live sustainably to how to meditate properly to channeling and all kinds of different holistic medicines. And you will be able to come to the city and stay and become certified in all kinds of amazing things. And I want to have martial arts, I want to have yoga, I want to have, like, just, like, there'll be so many things you can come and explore and become proficient in, which is so cool. And what's really cool too is my goal, depending on the class, because some things, take more money or things of that, or resources. My goal is that whoever's living at the city will be able to sit on certain classes or engage in the ones where there's not as much, like, need for money to be exchanged in those areas. So a lot of the classes will be accessible to people in the city for free. So that's so cool. So along with living there and having your basic needs met and all that good stuff, you will also be able to go and take these classes and really elevate yourself for free, which is so cool. It's like a part of the resources of living there, which is really cool. And then any other classes that are charged for will come at a really great discount and things of that nature. So it's really cool. We're gonna have art classes and gardening classes and, like, all kinds of cool stuff. So basically, if you come to the city, you are going to learn how to be proficient in metaphysical and natural resources and living and thriving. Like, it's so cool. And there will also be events going on. So we'll have speakers that come in regularly and events and just so cool. There'll also be, like, classes, and I think this will be specifically for people who live in the city because it'll be like a resource of the city. There'll be, like, package classes where if you want to become, say, proficient in all the holistic healing arts, there will be classes that you can take where it's like almost like a degree, right? Where you come and you, like, take certain classes to become proficient in a certain area, and that will be accessible easily for the people who live there, but people will also come to do that. And it will also be something you can utilize while living in the spirit city as a way to elevate the city itself, that you can elevate your own abundance and your own personal practice and all that good stuff. So it's going to be very cool. And there's even more, like, intense versions of that I love the idea of the Spirit City being like a hub for, like, what do I like? What's the word I want to use? Like, well honed, skilled people, right? Like, where if you like ask the city for help, if there's, say, a natural disaster, or there's a place needs more peace, or kind of like that, you could reach out to the Spirit City and we would send people who had the resources and the skills to assist in those areas, almost like first responder kind of energy, or even like a monkhood. Like that's always like resonated with me, that there would be people who would kind of dedicate themselves to not only making sure the city is great, but that we would be a resource for the surrounding areas as a means of helping the planet. So these people would be trained in everything from, first aid and CPR and all that stuff, to how to use energy to heal, and how to help people regulate their emotions and assist in those things. And they would be proficient in psychology and all of these things, maybe even martial arts, like really like the gambit, right? And so when the city is called upon, or if there was a need for that type of energy, we could send these people who have been really beautifully trained in like all the things. I don't know if this is nerdy or not, but it kind of reminds me of in the Lord of the Rings movie, when in Helm's Deep, this is very specific, in Helm's Deep, like they're about to go to war and they don't have a lot of numbers, and the elves show up and they are proficient fighters. They are proficient in, they're just like, they're really good at what they do, and they showed up to assist, and there was something really beautiful about that. And I love the idea of the city really being a resource for bettering the planet, not just the city. And this would be something that you would choose into, right? This would be something kind of like how you go like and learn to be like a Shaolin monk. Like there's something really beautiful about that. And you would learn how to meditate and be really skilled at manifesting and just all the good stuff. I just like that idea. I find that there's a lot of people who like to engage in really honing themselves, and I like the idea that the Spirit City would be an environment where that's possible. And so my goal is to have hello bug, jeez, that the school would have brilliant teachers, brilliant minds that can assist in that, and that we would have people that are proficient in abundance growth and building business and sustainable living, and like I said, the holistic cares, and maybe even classes on becoming a doula, a birth doula, or a death doula, like all of these things that would be so amazing for people to have more access to. The city will have this resource. So you come to the city, there's the healing center, there's a temple, there's events going on, there's an amazing market with organic foods and just all the good stuff. And then you can go and learn and grow and elevate yourself to be the best version of yourself, to be a more compassionate human being, a more aligned human being. And really in an environment where you can live your personal soul path, where you can be personally empowered in the soul path you desire. So if you go there and you want to be an artist, there'll be art classes. And if you want to learn about agriculture and sustainable living, you can do that. If you want to, level up your body, there's classes for that. There's elevating your mind. There's classes for that. Elevating your emotional state. There's classes for that. Learning about the healing arts. There's classes for that. And maybe even more if we really want to dive deep into just really becoming more well-rounded people. And there will also be a school for the children, which will be separate, which will be more like life skills, but also some of this stuff as well. Those will be actually two different parts of the school. There'll be like a children's and then like a higher education. So really excited about that. It could be really, really powerful. And I just think there'll be so much variety and so many opportunities for whatever you personally want your spiritual journey to look like. And I just think that's really, really cool. So let me know down in the comments which part of this school excites you. Which way would you want to go? What would you like to explore? And if you're interested in learning more about the school, definitely interact from the bottom up. You know the deal. Share this with your community, or even just copy the link. It's really helpful. We are creating the abundance to start creating these cities. So By clicking, you are helping. Mwah. Love you.